Welcome back, everybody, to the Buffalo Bulls Dynasty. We have reached the halfway point on year 7, and the Bulls have suddenly lost their last 2 games, allowing 69 combined points, falling out of the top 25 entirely. However, these are out-of-conference games, and we have yet to lose in conference, which is a lot more damaging. But now that we get into the second half of the schedule, everything is a conference game from here on out. We've got to find a way to be much better, especially on defense. And I do have a plan for that. The first part is we're going to increase the playing time for some of our backup defensive linemen. Players like Steven Makovica, who have been productive when they've had more playing time. And players like Jeremiah McDougal that can help out our run defense. We're also going to see players like Joel Traggs lose some of their snaps, as I think we need to do a better job of rotating our defensive linemen and trying to keep that unit fresh and prepared for each in-game situation. While we've lost these last 2 games, we've seen the pass rush disappear, and we've given up a lot of rushing yards and a lot of red zone touchdowns. So the defense that fueled us to a 14-win season last year and a deep run in the college football playoff needs to regain that form if we're going to have success through our first ACC season. It's a 6-game stretch now, all in the Atlantic Coast Conference. Welcome to Berkeley. We're on the road this week against the Cal Golden Bears. And they are going to start their day at the 19-yard line. And we'll find out if the defense can make the adjustments they need. Cal opens, and the quarterback is sophomore Jamie Mallory. And he's going to keep on first down. Gets hit by Leon Edmond. It is a gain of 7. Tempo from the Golden Bear offense as they run inside. And Adonis Carruthers, he gets the first down. A second straight run. And this time he's dragged down. That's Brian Dragosevich. Only one that time. Now Mallory throws one high. It is snatched out of the air. Very close to a first down. Cal empty, beating the blitz on the quick throw. A first down at the 48. Cal play fake, and the pressure gets there. And that is Jamal Harper. You're going to see a lot more of him in this game. Number 22 is a better all-around run defender as he gets his hands dirty on this play. And we have Cal third and long. They set up a screen to the outside. A couple blocks set up, but not nearly enough. And that is going to end this first Cal drive as the offense now takes the field. And despite the losing, I think that we've done a pretty decent job offensively. We open with DeMarco Lacombo, who breaks a tackle and gains 7. We did have the first 3 interceptions of the year last week for quarterback Ray Elway. So obviously we hope to avoid the turnovers this week. Elway first down over the middle and wide open. It's Sean Blade. He gets 22 yards. D'Angelo Meyer is the running back. And he is not going far on this play. And now he's going to come off the field. A lot of depth at running back. Joshua Bloom now in. And it's a throw right to the defender, and it's intercepted. The 4th interception for Elway. We had gone 5 games to open the year without any interceptions. Suddenly, 4 on the season. Nice play by the linebacker, and Cal now set up with the short field. Mallory, screen set up, and there's blocking for Carruthers. Dancing past Byron Gammon, a first down. Safety down close to the box, and Mallory hits the pass downfield. Caught inside the 5 by Keenan Brito. Option flipped outside into the end zone. Adonis Carruthers. A touchdown to get the first point scored, and Cal takes the lead here at home. Not a good start for a team trying to reverse their recent trends. And DeMarco Lacombo straight ahead. A powerful run to the 33. 2 safeties sitting back. And they go with number 24 again. Lacombo fighting for 5. Elway to throw it, needs 5. Plenty of time, and gets it to the tight end. It's Mike Dugans. He's been a pretty reliable addition this year. Again, 3rd down for Buffalo. They need 7. And the interior rush disrupts Elway, and the pass is incomplete. Really good start for Cal. Buffalo has played 2 ACC games this year. We had a 17-point fourth quarter comeback against FSU. In a game it looked like we were going to get blown out. And then our other game was a blowout against the Duke Blue Devils. Cal takes over. That's a good run. Carruthers off to a strong start. And the block set up well again in the second level. Out to the 30. Quickly getting breathing room for the offense. Mallory thought he had something there. No one can make a play on it. Now can the defense step up on 3rd down? Deep in the pocket. Chase down. He lost it. And Cal recovers the fumble. Carruthers saves it. But this drive is coming to an end. And man, what can't Leon Edmond do? He's lining up as a pass rusher this time. When the team is going through tough times, you need your stars and leaders to get everything right again. That's what Leon Edmond's trying to do here. 7-0. Buffalo football and movement now. Elway going for a hard count, and he gets Joshua Bloom to jump instead. 3rd down and 11. Cal sends 4, gets pressure. That's a sack. First of the day for Cal, ending another failed Buffalo possession. All Cal 1 quarter in. Mallory scanning and going down. Joel Treggs breaks through. I think we can get a lot more out of him if we're just limiting his snaps to the right times. Up the middle, it's Lacombo falling ahead. 5 carries, 29 yards, gets another chance. Breaks out of the pile, shedding arm tackles into the secondary now. Bloom checking in with Meyer under 100%. And he makes a move to the outside. Bumped out inside the 20. Another nice dash from Joshua Bloom. Lacombo re-enters. Elway throwing. Wide open. Turning it up. That's a touchdown. Sean Blade. When we go to the red zone, that's where his route running is a huge difference maker. The separation he creates at 6'5" makes him an ideal red zone threat. And we're tied now at 7. It's Carruthers breaking out now into the secondary. And we have just seen this time and time again far too often this year. Another inside run. Dragocevic is in there, and he's been able to make a few plays. Another run. Edmond there, and helped out by Trent Cole at safety. Creates a passing 3rd down, and a tunnel screen where Cal gets the conversion. To the Buffalo 40, and continuing that up-tempo approach. A draw. Wrapped up by Edmond, not fooled by it. Shaq Quarterman rotates in. Joel Treggs as well. Here's the pressure, and again hit by Treggs. We're already seeing how much better he is when he is fresh for these 3rd downs and he can just pin his ears back and get to the quarterback. Still a 7-7 tie, and Lacombo's going to bounce it now. Trucks the defensive back. The locomotive's coming through, and Buffalo is on the move. Great start for the running game. Elway stands in, caught. That's Oscar McNabb on the reception. 3rd downs have been challenging today. 4-man rush. Elway gets away from the pressure and threads the needle for McNabb. One of his best throws on the season. How about this throw? And without the speed of McNabb, that small window never opens in the first place. At the Cal 28, and bouncing this run, it is Bloom. Gain of 3. They flip this one now to the receiver, Roger Grimm. Wheels outside, cuts it back, and he gains 4. We like to use our receivers there in the run game at times. setting up a third down, and the pass goes right through the hands of Blade. Normally such a sure-handed receiver. It's a very windy day, by the way, but it is no issue for Grassmanis on this try. And Buffalo leads, settling things down here in the second quarter. Stuffed by Treggs. All right, that's the kind of play he has not been making against the run throughout the season. A quick drive for Cal. Now 2 minutes for the Bulls as Grimm makes the catch and fights to the 45. A combo in the game, getting the call on 2nd and 1 right through the middle to the Cal 43. This is a much better start than most of our games have seen. Just controlling the line of scrimmage. It feels like we're getting a minimum of 3 yards every run. Elway scanning now. He's going to extend things. And nothing opening up as he wanted it to. He scrambles for 5. 3rd and 1. Buffalo running all the way. And they use Bloom this time for the first down. Not even Lacombo. Bloom staying in. On first down, he makes the catch and breaks upfield to the 15. I love using Joshua Bloom here in the 2-minute offense. Now Elway is going to extend. Fire! Touchdown! Oscar McNabb! Right on time as the Bulls have gone on a 17-0 run. When we get one-on-one coverage there with McNabb, he's going to draw a lot of targets. That comeback route is something we did a lot last year with Enrique Trejo, and now that is McNabb on the outside doing the same thing. 50 seconds to go in the first half, and the pressure continues to be a problem. Breaking through the middle, Troy Hodel. One of our best days of pass rushing all season. A great catch, and a gain of around 8. Cal sitting here with 2 timeouts, hoping this drive continues. Wide open now. That's the tight end, Brito. They'll get across midfield. Trying to end this scoring run, but Mallory loses a bunch and gets sacked by Connor Smoot. We're even taking Antoine Gatto off the field here or there to keep him fresh and give players like Smoot chances they weren't getting earlier in the season. And that approach has already paid dividends for this defense, who did have one rough drive, gave up a touchdown on a short field, but otherwise, this defensive line is back to dominating again, despite the increase in competition, and I believe we're facing a pretty good interior. A lot of good star talents there at guard especially, but we have won that battle easily. Second half underway, all kinds of room for the locomotive. And already 86 yards for DeMarco Lacombo. This time he motions out and he can make the catch and now break away again. Lacombo to the 45. 18 yards through the air. Good to see Meyer back in. He got shaken up on his first carry of the day, so he hasn't seen a lot of playing time. Bloom doing a really good job there as well. Elway's going to take off and had to take on the contact there if he wanted the conversion. At the Cal 30-yard line, Elway 3rd and 6. Short throw going to McNabb, and that's a conversion. It was a slow start, but now tough to slow these guys down. 3rd and 7. Elway taken down. Got a little too far to the outside there, and it's going to bring on Grassmanis. Heavy wind blowing right to left, and he plays that wind perfectly, letting it guide the ball through the uprights for a 20-7 lead. And what has happened to Cal since taking that early advantage? To the outside, tight-roping is Carruthers. Never stepped out apparently. They just have not been able to move the ball once they get across midfield. It's a much better job against the run by Buffalo. After giving up a lot of early rushing yards, now that's not even working for Cal. And they have not been having success on these tough 3rd downs. And it's not going to start here. A 5th sack of the day. Troy Hodell ends the possession. Buffalo rolling, and Bloom cuts it back as he gets a few more. 3 running backs all staying fresh in the offense. 3rd down and dropped again by Blade. I mean, 2 uncharacteristic drops by him. Cal fortunate. They have it again late 3rd. And perfectly covering the screen is Joel Treggs. I mean, he's having the best game of his career, arguably, when I've talked about him struggling and having his snaps reduced. 3rd down and 15, and that's not going anywhere. It's Devontae carrying on the TFL. Buffalo with 2 minutes to play in the 3rd, and Lacombo, who wants to stand in his way with Buffalo up 13 here in the late 3rd. Elway, he's going to launch this one. It is Grimm, and it's intercepted in the end zone. Thought he had him there breaking away, and this is an incredible interception. He comes off of his receiver and can track this ball down. A little bit out of reach maybe for Grimm. So another multi-interception game. That's 5 on the year. And there's nothing open on this play. Mallory throws it away. We've seen the secondary be a bit up and down, but no surprise. I mean, the defensive line makes their job so much easier. Great stop, Hodell. Going to a desperation screen now, and can't get him on the ground. Sloppy tackling here out of the Buffalo defense. This game is a lot closer than it feels right now. Cal just needs 1 drive to go their way, but they've lost the running game. The pass game is struggling to make big plays, and that's a pick. It is Trent Cole on the interception, undercutting for Buffalo's first takeaway. And they'll take over to begin quarter number 4. Cal hasn't scored since early in the 1st. Lacombo, watch out. He breaks a tackle into the secondary. Falling ahead to the 29. His first career 100-yard game. Elway short, and the pass hauled in. Meyer holds on. Another red zone trip. Meyer, the running back. He'll sprint to the outside now. Across the 15. Good gain. 3 receivers in the pattern. 3rd down, and pressure gets there again. That is Rudy Sisk. Another field goal try for Morgan Grass-Manis. And this time, he's going to come up empty, wide left. That wind plays so many tricks on you. It's tough when you're flipping ends of the field on different hashes for each kick. So a 20-7 game. Cal needs 2 possessions to go their way. Quick screen in space, converting. They're throwing screens out to the tight end. Under 8 minutes to play. Mallory fires, and it's intercepted. He stays in bounds, and down the sideline, Byron Gammon. Pick 6, Buffalo. A second interception of Jamie Mallory. Buffalo playing tough man coverage, and Gammon has picked off 4 passes this season. The 2-point try is going to fail, however. 26-7. Now it's starting to look a little more out of hand. Nice pickup here for Cal. They did hit a nice downfield pass on that drive they scored the touchdown on, but really not stretching the field well beyond that. Buffalo continues to get a lot of pressure, not so much on this snap, but now 4th down. And you've got to throw it long here. Mallory firing, batted down by Devin Hester. The defense has come to play today. They are responding to all the criticism. And DeMarco Lacombo now, watch out! Oh, that defender just saved a massive play. They load the box. And the locomotive heads outside, across the 30, still on his feet as he goes out of bounds at the 20. This is the kind of rushing effort I expected us to have this year. Now it is Jimmy Sampson checking in with a solid run. But we should be wearing teams out, dominating the line of scrimmage. And I'd say while the running game has not been bad this year, it just hasn't looked this good most of the time. Lacombo again to the end zone. Touchdown, Bulls. And we're looking to leave Berkeley with another big ACC victory to put those losses behind us. 33-7 in just a few minutes to go. A good time to get some more snaps for the backups. And that is a 6th sack for Stephen Makovica. Empty now for Mallory. 4th and 12. He gets it away, and the spinning deflection is made by Devontae Carrion. And now the final minutes will come off the clock. This is Carlos Harms on the delay, running it up across the 30. There's just so much running back talent on this team. Harms again in the open, trying to set up blocks as he's tackled at the 4. 1 yard out on 3rd and goal, and Carlos Harms finds the end zone. Cal led this game 7-0. It will end on a 40-point Buffalo run, dominating their way to their 3rd ACC victory with a 20-point 4th quarter. That is how we wanted to break into the second half of the year. What a game. I felt like so many players had their best game right here. DeMarco Lacombo was excellent, but Joel Treggs also stood out throughout the game, and he was one of those players I really focused on the snap count for, having him on the field when it made the most sense. So we saw a lot of pressures, and now the game doesn't track like pressures and hits. He did have 3 tackles, 3 TFLs, and a sack. His most productive game all year, and that's not even including the production we don't have access to, like the number of pressures. He did that on 27 snaps, one of his lowest snap counts all year. This entire series, I knew there's been something to keeping guys fresh. I first noticed it with players like Jermichael Humphreys back in the early years of the series, where I would just throw him into a drive and he would sack the quarterback on the next play. And it would keep happening. He'd make an impact. So I've always tried to do some level of rotation. With how good the starters have become, I've done a little bit less of it, but it's still a critical piece of the puzzle. And it's all done manually, by the way. I'm not relying on auto subs. I'm doing it all by hand at the play call menu. But I love the results we got this week. On to the next one. And we're going to be adding on to our recruiting class in a big way this episode. This is a busy week. We pick up another 5-star prospect and a bunch of 4-stars. Now, we only have 8 graduating seniors and a handful of players that I think are players we can cut in the offseason. So 10 to 15 players is my target. But Ben Van Roten, he is going to give us a dynamic skill set as a potential number 1 wide receiver. He is one of the most complete receivers I have seen in recruiting, with his blend of speed, release, spec catch, so much to like. And our first 5-star wide receiver. James Trahan is a 3-down linebacker with really good speed, and this skill set is one I've missed out on a lot of players in past years, so very big to get him. We also get a commitment from 4-star guard Jamar Fritas. He is extremely strong and should help us out in the running game. He definitely projects as a future starter. We also get a 4-star wide receiver in Carl Agnew, who is a gem. 96 speed, 88 spectacular catch. Our future at wide receiver looks really strong getting these 2 commitments. And the most important thing now is to see where those skill caps end up. That makes one of the greatest differences. So for the time being, we have the number 12 recruiting class, and that's going to fall as we are not going to get 20 plus players in this class. So who is left then on the board? DeMarco Austin just had his visit with Clemson. It only put them narrowly ahead of us. That battle is close to a conclusion. We're also close on a decision from Jeffrey Wire, with BYU pretty close and a visit upcoming. Byron Lamb at corner favors us over Louisville, and Jermaine Toon favors us over Virginia Tech. We're going through a couple more weeks of simulating because we have back-to-back bye weeks. So more decisions in recruiting are made. And Buffalo adds 4-star pass rusher Jeffrey Wire, along with 4-star cornerback Byron Lamb. We end up missing out on DeMarco Austin, which I had already kind of prepared for. I thought he was going to favor Clemson once he visited them. But Wire gives us another really good 4-star edge rusher, and I'm hoping he can also play the run with that high strength and tackle. Byron Lamb, 6'2" with 93 speed, really good tackling as well at the position. He specializes in man coverage, which we've been calling more of. The board is now significantly smaller. I'm still scouting a lot of players, but I'm not going to need all these hours to go through the rest of the year. And we're going to add another player in this episode in Jermaine Toon, who is a really versatile 91 speed safety that can play whatever role we need him to at the position. We've added so much great talent this year, but check this out. Remember Caleb Cahill, who had locked us out because we no longer met his deal breaker. The playstyle deal breaker was apparently a D-, and that has flipped suddenly. Now it's no longer a problem, and we're back to being able to put points into this battle again, so there's still a chance we get a 4-star gem center, and there are a few other players I'm targeting, including a potential quarterback. A much better episode today for Buffalo compared to the last couple. And we are only one of 2 ACC teams without a conference loss. Pretty crazy that only 2 teams are undefeated, like 4 games into the conference schedule. But we're coming off a really good showing. That was the type of ground attack we want to be having throughout the rest of the year. And the pass rush was back to being a true force. We're not going to hold teams to 7 every week, but if we can be competitive, win our battles, play our game, I think we're going to have a good second half of the year. So can we build upon this and continue on against Virginia? That's our next matchup. Thank you all for watching today's episode. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you wouldn't mind leaving a like, I would appreciate it, and subscribe to the channel. I'll do my best to get more episodes in this series up. I know it's been pretty light lately with focus on MLB The Show's launch, but my new series is up there on the second channel if you want to check out the Marlins franchise. But not having to set up a new series should give me some more time to make sure there's still some good Buffalo action on the way. Take care, everybody. I will catch you in the next one.